Well, hey, handy people, Dan here. Hey, have you ever had a problem with your trailer lights not working right? Well, I just did, and I had an issue with the running lights not working on my trailer, on my boat trailer. Just got back from about a 1,000-mile round trip, I guess. Maybe not that much, maybe 800 miles. Anyways, a long haul. And I did not have running lights, which was not a good thing. So anyways, I got her home, and let me show you how I fixed it. Come on. Part of the things I do when I get home from a long trip is I go through the boat and I try to fix anything I can. I clean it. I did initial cleaning. I got to do deep cleaning now. Get the carpet looking good. But I pulled out my meter and I found that it's pretty simple. The first thing you should always check is your ground wire. And lo and behold, my ground wire, which is this white wire, doesn't look very white anymore, ran under. If I pull on it, you'll see the wire under here move, okay? Now we get a look under here. I'll get you up in there so you can see it. Right there is connected to this big bolt, and that was the ground that was in place. But if you look at that wire, I don't know if you can tell. I'll zoom in on it a little bit. That looks kind of bad to me. So I checked it with my meter, and sure as shooting, the wiring is good to this point where all the damage is up to here, right there. But this wire is all broken, frayed, and I'm gonna have to cut it and set up a new system for a ground using that same wire. It'll be a quick fix, but it'll be an important one. Well, here's the plan. I'm gonna cut that wire off down there where it's mounted. I'm not even gonna mess with that big bolt. I don't need a bolt that big to put a good ground. I've got down here a self-tapping stainless steel 5/16 head screw that I'm gonna use. And depending on the wire gauge, which I think is gonna end up being the blue one will be the proper one, I'm gonna cut and strip the wire, crimp that on, and then under here, I'm gonna drill a small hole, and I have my drill for that already sized. I take the drill, I take the screw and I put it over, and if it covers the drill, that means the drill's smaller than than the diameter, and I want to be able to see the threads of, and it's hard with my fingers in the way, but you can see how the threads poke out either side of the drill bit. That means they'll go into the metal and seat properly. I like to pre-drill the hole because even though this guy has a self-tapping, a self-drilling head, I prefer to, in steel this thick, and this is good thick square tube steel. I prefer to use a pre-drilled scenario and it's a lot less effort and goes a lot faster and usually holds better. So, and then I'll use these cutters first to cut the wire loose, then to strip the wire, cut it to length. I'll drill the hole. I'll get things ready and get the wire proper. I'm gonna pull the wire back through here, and it's, instead of being wired this way, it's gonna be wired under here. Instead of going in and around and in there, we're gonna get her and go underneath here, which I think should work just fine. So with that, on to my next steps. First step is loosen this and cut this off. That wasn't too tough. Pull it out. The wire's in pretty decent shape overall. And this plug still works. So I think I'm gonna tie it off down here. I'll tape that off, little electrical tape, and then run the wire. So that's next. So using some good Scotch brand electrical tape, I taped off the wiring harness as close as I could get. So that keeps it kind of together instead of dangling all over. I cut the wire, shortened the loop, and pre-drilled a hole. Cut the wire, added a terminal end, crimped it on, and pre-drilled the hole for it to go into. So next up, I'll drive this guy into that hole. One other thing I do is I've got the hole pre-drilled, and then I ran this guy up into it just to open it up and get it just to start. Then I back it out. Now I'm going to go around the edges of that hole and clean it to bare metal. And I'll do that with a file. So using a file, I clean the hole down to bare metal, all surrounding it. And if you look, when this sits on it, it's just about the right size. And that'll be metal to metal, which is what you want, a good ground. And she's tucked up in pretty nice. So next up, and just like that, she's freshly mounted and pretty well out of the way. I may run a couple of cable ties just to strap it tight against the trailer frame, because I got a little bit of gap there. It's a little bit not as tight as I'd like, but I think I got a good ground. I'm gonna check that next. So if everything's supposed to go as planned, I should be able to hear continuity on my little meter. Yeah, I might not be getting a good poke in here. Now I've got my meter set with an audible. Whoops, there. Which shows when you make continuity. Second, I go in here. That means throughout the trailer, wherever there's metal attached properly, like all the rest of the grounds, that means they'll work. So, success. Well, hey folks, thanks for watching. You know, this is a simple little thing that just about anybody can do. It didn't take that many tools, didn't take a lot of equipment. Fixing a ground wire is easy, and you can do it with most of your home tools that you probably already have on the shelf. or in the toolbox. I'll have more content up here shortly. My trip to Canada was outstanding. I want to share that with you. Right now I got a lot of work yet to do, a lot of cleanup work, putting away work, fixing work, like this little fix here. And then I'll be able to get that other out. I'm also a little under the weather, so that slowed me down just a tad. Anyways, have a great one, and if I can do it, you can too.